DJ Scream. Corey, what's happening? Spins on the beat.
It's Hoodrich Radio, you better not change the station.
It's Hoodrich Radio, the superstar check-in DJ Screen right now. The special guest is in the building, good friend of mine, man, the one, the only, Kevin Gates. Welcome back to the ATL, brother.
And what's happening, big dog?
Good spirits, good vibes, good energy, man. New project, Isla. Now talk to us about the album title off top. That's named after your newest born, correct?
Nah, I got a daughter. This is my first daughter that I ever had.
Okay, your first daughter. Okay.
But I got another daughter that's dead.
Okay.
But this is the first daughter that I guess that I got to have and really raise.
Okay.
And I treat my music just like I treat my daughter as my baby. I'm very careful with it. I take my time with it. And the name Isla in Spanish, it means island.
Right.
But in Aramaic or Arabic, the name Isla means a spiritual awakening, to reprove, to improve, to make better.
Okay.
And my daughter did all of those things for me.
Got you.
And I guess this album was an exhibition of my growth.
Yeah. And I've been following your career and your music for some while now. Maybe dating back to Satellites, maybe even before Satellites. What do you say is some of the biggest differences between Kevin Gates right now in 2016 and maybe the Kevin Gates of 2013, 2014?
I didn't have the patience that I have now.
Okay. You developed patience.
I didn't have the patience that I had, and I didn't have the understanding that I have.
Okay.
I had a self-centered attitude sometimes, and a lot of things happened, and they allowed me to reflect and realize that, Kevin, this is a blessing. Nobody has to like your music.
Right.
They don't have to like your music.
Right.
So it's a blessing, and I treat it that way.
Do you think at one point maybe just the fanfare and going to different spots and just seeing everybody go crazy over you, do you think at one point you might have took that for granted?
I didn't take it for granted, but I allowed my depression to overshadow, I guess, my happy moments. So a lot of times people wouldn't understand how passionate I am about art and how passionate I am about the music because it's all that I have. I don't have anything else but music.
Gotcha.
So I could be coming up with a song or something in my head and somebody interrupt me and I'm, man, you serious? Flat, just flipping out for no reason. You got to understand that this is that person's first time ever getting to see you, Kevin. They don't have to like you.
Right.
They recognize you for what you did.
Right.
So you can't conduct yourself like that.
Yeah. Now let's talk about Kevin Gates, man. I think one of the things that I respect the most about you and your music is the authenticity. Like, you really feel like, kind of get the Tupac feel from it. Like, you really feel like when you're rapping about the things you're rapping about and the music you put forth, it's really you. It's not a character. It's not an act.
No.
Do you think that's missing from just our culture, our music in general? Do you think a lot of people just don't understand how to be authentic and be themselves?
I'll say this. For some people, that is their authenticity.
Okay.
Because I say this, I'm an outside person.
Okay.
So I kind of mimic the things that I saw in my environment, and I kind of mimic the things that I grew up around. And I imitated those things. I emulated those things. Such as, I have an uncle named Lee Lucas. Free him, may peace be upon him. He was one of the flyest niggas in the game to me, like fly. And I always used to go in the mirror and practice looking like him, and I wanted to have goals in my mouth like him, and I wanted to have nice cars and dress fly like him. Well, I look at some individuals and they don't have parents in the home, or if they do have parents, they barely get to spend any time with them because their parents may be forced to work. Like, in most cases, that's the case matter. Most people's parents aren't there, so they're raised by the television. They're raised by what they see on TV. So the perception that's given is that this how you do this and this how you do that, and a lot of individuals emulate and imitate the things that they see on TV. So that is their authenticity. That is their real reality. That's how I look at it from my perspective.
When you create it, though, let's take a woman who is a woman. You may look at her as a beautiful woman, but she feels like she's not good enough, so she recreates herself with, additions or whatever the case is, or or you might even see a male individual that's not happy with himself, so it kind of manifests. Like, how do you feel about that? Like, how do you feel about the alteration of the human body, being that, you're kind of created maybe the way you're supposed to be?
Big brother, and I'm not trying to sound cliche when I say this, but if you were supposed to look like the people you see on TV, you would look like those people.
Got you.
And who's to say that is beautiful?
Right.
Who's to say?
Right.
They said that she's pretty. Somebody told you that woman was pretty.
Right.
And you went for it. And you believed it. And that might not be the case. You know what I'm saying? You want to look like something that's not even beautiful.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't understand that part of it.
Right.
Because I've never did any alterations or anything to my body. I've got a lot of tattoos. I'm really into tattoos.
Art, right.
I got a lot of tattoos. I did my mouth because I'm really into I'm into that. That's part of the culture anyway. Once you become self-made and you rely on yourself, you do your mouth. That meant you were solid.
Right.
That's why you put permanents in your mouth. You put diamonds, you put jewelry in your mouth because you were self-made. You done reached a level to where you don't need nobody. You your own boss. You the landlord. And people be like, why you call yourself the landlord? And I'm not trying to veer off the subject matter, but when you own rental properties, you are a landlord. So I like to consider myself as landlord Brassy because I own rental property and I have tenants.
Right.
So, like I say, it's people that I don't look like, that women might find attractive. But will I let that stop me? I might not look as attractive as some of these R&B singers and stuff out here, but I got a swag. He ain't got my swag.
You yourself.
I'm fly. I'm America's sexiest gangster. I'm gonna make it. I made it that way. That's who I am.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Over the past year, a couple years, there've been a lot of stuff in the media. A lot of people have this.
Ask me any question.
No, well, I'm just gonna keep it honest because I personally, like I said, I rock with your authenticity. I'm the type of person as well, if something's on my mind, I'm going to say it. So I think a lot of people have misunderstood you because they might ask you a question and you tell the truth. So then it ends up in the media, oh, no, Kevin told the truth about a question we asked, or Kevin did this, Kevin did that. Let's just talk about Kevin and maybe potentially just the name Kevin Gates. Do you feel like you're misunderstood? Do you think that people are not ready for what's real and what's raw? Like, how do you feel about it?
I don't want to say that I'm misunderstood because the people that get it, get it.
Right.
The world isn't full of brilliant people, to be honest.
Okay.
There's not a lot of brilliant people walking around. So most of the people that don't understand, they fear what they don't understand, and they attack what they don't understand by being critical. They attack it they start criticizing it. They make it, they try to make it not relevant in their realm when it's the truth. You know what I'm saying? I am now. Kevin Gates has become a very strong feeling. Whatever that feeling may be. Now when you say the name Kevin Gates, you don't think, you feel a certain type of way.
Right.
You might feel laughter, you might feel humor,
Yeah.
you might feel depression, you might feel sad, you might feel angry, whatever. But no matter what, Kevin Gates is now a strong feeling.
Absolutely. I love that, man. Now, Isla, man, it's a long road to the journey of getting to this project, a commercially released album. You put out a lot of undergrounds and mixtapes and so forth that the streets will really embrace. What's the difference between this project and your prior efforts?
I hate to say this, but it's no difference.
Okay.
It's just people calling it a mixtape when I put the same amount of pain, effort, and everything into every album that I make. I put the same amount of emotion into it every time. So it's no difference to me.
Okay.
When I do music, I make music. I go in the studio and go in. I just heard the album for the first time in New York yesterday.
Completely. Wow.
Completely, because I make so much music. I didn't know what songs that my wife in Atlantic picked to go on the album. I didn't know.
So your wife actually put it together with the label?
She owns Breadwinners Association. We both own Breadwinners Association, but
that's dope.
I don't like to wear the hat of the owner. I like to wear the hat of the artist.
Gotcha.
Because I'm so passionate about the art that I don't like to talk about business and things of that nature. I like for it to be all the art.
Okay. Final question, brother. Man, if there's a a young kid out there, he might be in the projects of the ghetto, might not think he has no hope, might be in a crazy situation. The odds might just be against him. What kind of motivation or what kind of words would you give to somebody like that to make it or to be inspired to make it? Because we all know some of your story and you've had
Great
odds against
people have to undergo great tests.
Okay.
And I'll say that because I've been tested.
Yeah.
And I'm constantly tested. But great people undergo great tests.
Mm. And you feel like everything you went through made you who you are and stronger. Absolutely.
Yeah, everything you go through, everything that you go through in life, it's molding you into being that great individual.
Mm-hmm.
Is how you look at the test.
Mm-hmm.
Accept the challenge and get it behind you.
Mm-hmm.
Just accept the challenge and get it behind you.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to just ball overnight, so to say. It don't happen like that.
Mm-hmm.
You got to work toward it.
Mm-hmm.
And it come a little bit at a time and a little bit at a time.
Right.
And it's a gradual process. And when it comes, you won't even notice it because you're so focused on getting to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes you got to stop and be appreciative for your situation because no such thing is that bad.
Mm-hmm.
No such thing. We can make it that bad when we get to complaining about it.
Right.
But it's something that could be done.
Right. Absolutely.
You just got to find the angle.
Absolutely.
Look for the angle in all situations.
Right.
Find the angle and then master your craft, whatever your craft may be.